So exactly what should the universities do? Here with me is Geraldo Rivera, the veteran Peabody Award-winning journalist, NewsNation's correspondent at large. Geraldo, what should the universities do more or less? How do they deal with this?
Well, the first thing the university has to do, as the father of a proud Jewish girl going to college, the first thing they have to do is protect her against anti-Semitism. They have to protect the Muslim students against anti-Islamic feelings. They've got to do their best to give everybody the right to a fair shot. Speaking of shots, if I were Alec Baldwin, I would have whacked that harasser way earlier than he did, and I hope he doesn't get in a jam for it. But this is not George Floyd. This is, you got to put it in perspective. This is not Rodney King. You know, the demonstrators, these are basically middle-class white kids, Gen Zers, for the first time in their lives, you know, doing something that does not concern themselves. You have protesters there. They would, hey, what are we protesting again? You know, so it's kind of silly in a way. And I think that the semester will end and this will die down. And I also think, in a positive, substantive way, that it's good that the Palestinians have their moment, because they have been involved in this struggle with Israel for 3/4 of a century. And this is the first time you've seen a U.S. component to their support. They're the underdogs now for these 10 minutes. Horrible what happened on October 7th, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want anyone to think that I am in any way divorcing myself from the grim reality that they think they are reflecting and representing and commenting on. But this is, you know, very little property damage, very few injuries. I hate when people push cops around. Anyone who touches a cop should go to jail. When they round up these kids, it's good to protest. Great. I love to see you're out of your mother's basement. But if you get put on the bus, you get the you know, what do they call them? The wraps, the plastic wraps. Go to jail, and you're going to get a record. You're going to have an arrest record, and you're going to have to, you know, have some responsibility for what it is you have done. But I think that very importantly, I want people to be engaged. I want people to be involved in the world. Let these students. Columbia is not, you know, an oasis, a divorce from Earth. I mean, it is, but it should not be. It should be. You know, I grew up in. Remember, I was at Columbia in 1970. 1968 was 1969. Lawyer for the young lords, seizing buildings, doing this. You know, there's a dynamic. You know, the world has been, you know, so, you know, so kind of bulletproof in a sense, you know, distant from these kids. Let them live. But when you mess with someone else's rights, you should be responsible for it. There's two sides, at least, to this story. Let them tell theirs. There'll be the other side represented. But colleges have to be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.